is up, Avenue Youth? Man, it is so good to see you guys. Pastor Wyatt here at a totally different location than maybe you guys have ever been to before. We are here at Riverside City College, my old stomping grounds. If you can actually see right now, over here in this general direction is actually where the track is, and that's where I used to run track for 4 years, not even 4 years, 3 years of my life. And I went to college here. I loved every single bit of it, and this is where we are for our week 3 of our series Road Trip. And so if you guys have been following us throughout this series, you know that week 1 we were in the Ortega Mountains, last week was week 2 we were at the beach, and now today we are here in Riverside City College. Man, this place brings back so many memories for me, and I'm just excited to be here, not only here in Riverside, but also with you guys as well. So wherever you're joining me at, maybe it's at your home, maybe it's you're on your way to school. I mean, not on your way to school now, but getting ready for school, whether it's night, whether it's morning, whether it's the middle of the day, whatever it may be, wherever you're joining me, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad that you're here with us. And I want you guys to get out your guys' notebooks, get out your journals, get out your diaries, whatever it is that you take notes on, and get ready to take some notes on tonight's message. Because tonight's message, we are going to be in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 6 through 7. So 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 6 through 7, which says this: "As for me, my life has already been poured out as an offering to God. The time of my death is near. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race, and I have remained faithful." I want to title tonight's message, Finishing Strong. Finishing strong. You know, my years of track, I ran track in high school and in college as well. And one of the things that our coaches always used to tell us was finish through the line. I was a 100 meter and a 200 meter sprinter. And so for us, this meant so much to us. We knew exactly what they were talking about whenever they said finish through the line. Finish through the line. Don't just stop short. Don't just walk through the line, but finish through it. Act as if the real finish line is like 2 or 3 meters ahead of the actual one. Finish through the line. And really what they were telling us is finish strong. Finish your race strong. Even during workouts, even during just practices, they would always tell us this: finish strong, finish through the line. Because man, if we didn't, we definitely got in trouble. We had to do bear claws, we had to do push-ups, burpees, whatever it may be, because they wanted us to know that it's so important for us to finish strong. You know, for me, during my years of track, I was a sprinter, and so I used to love the start. I used to love whenever the gun would go off and we would, you know, sprint out of our blocks. And I was actually a pretty good starter. I got it down to like a T, to like an art almost. But my finishes weren't always the best. You see, I had good starts, but I didn't always have good finishes. And the reality was that there were times where I had a good start. I was the first one out of the gate, but yet I didn't win the race. Why? Because my finish just wasn't there. And there's been times where people don't have good starts, but yet they finish first because their finish was strong. I think for some of us, if not all of us, we have all faced this in life where our start is good. You know, I know that we just had the first day of school was literally last week, and you know, it's a start of something new. It's a start of a brand new school year. I know that this year is different. I know this year seems really strange almost, and none of us could possibly predict it, but yet I want to encourage you guys to finish strong. Just because this year is different than any other year that you've ever been in, finish strong. Even if it's over Zoom, if it's over online teaching, whatever it may be, finish strong. You know, right now, maybe you have the motivation, you have the momentum on your side, you're going through with this, you're waking up early, you're logging into class on time, you're getting dressed every single morning, hopefully you're taking a shower, you're brushing your teeth, you know, you're staying with the same routine. I want to encourage you guys, keep that same energy, finish strong, set some goals for yourself, tell yourself, I'm going to do great this year, I'm going to get these grades throughout these classes, no matter how difficult it gets, no matter what this year may look like. Finish strong, because it's not always how you start, but a lot of the times it's how you finish. I don't know about you, but I want to live my life finishing strong. You see, Paul right here in 2 Timothy is talking to us about how this is the end of his life. He knows that he's about to die pretty soon. He knows that something is going to happen. He knows that he's not going to be on earth forever. But he's saying, I fought the good fight. I ran the race. He's comparing a fight and racing to his life. And he's saying that I fought the good fight, I finished the race, and I remained faithful. Paul is telling us that he is finishing strong. He is finishing his life strong. And I want to encourage you guys that tonight is the night that we make a declaration, that we make a commitment that I am going to finish strong. Whatever I start, I'm going to finish strong. This new school year, I'm going to finish strong. This year, I'm going to finish strong. No matter what it might look like, I'm going to finish strong. Because it's not about how we start, but it's about how we finish. And so based off of 2 Timothy chapter 4, I want to talk about some truths on what it means to finish strong and how we can finish strong. My first point for us is this: pain is a tool. Pain is a tool. What we have to realize is that in life we're going to go through some pains. We're going to go through some trials. We're going to go through some sorrows, some difficult moments, some struggles within our lives. I mean, this whole year of 2020 has been a fight, has been a race, has been a struggle, has been full of pains. Our expectations have been shattered. Some of our school years have been ruined. Whatever it may be, like this whole entire year seems to be a struggle, seems to be a fight, seems to be filled with pain. And Paul knows this all too well, that pain is a part of life. In fact, he describes life as a fight. When you fight with someone, you are bound to have pain. You're bound to experience pain. When you're in a race, I know all too well what it means to have pain during a race. There's times where I've gone through a race where I've been in a track meet where I wanted to give up, where I felt that pain, where I felt those cramps inside of my legs and inside of my hamstrings, and I wanted to give up. I wanted to just sit down, stop, lay down, not do anything for the rest of the day. I wanted to quit during my race so many times. And so here's the thing, is that when it comes to pain, when it comes to us experiencing pain, here's the big question for us. Is my pain going to define me? Or is my pain going to grow me? Here's the thing, when it comes to life, pain is expected. Pain is something that we cannot run from. We have to go through it. So when I'm going through pain, when I'm going through a difficult season, is it going to define me or is it going to grow me? When my pain defines me, I become bitter. I begin to hate life. When my pain, when my struggle becomes my identity, I start to get bitter. I start to get angry. I start to become something that I don't want to be. That's what happens when it defines me. But yet when my pain grows me, I become better. I become equipped. I begin to learn the lesson of whatever it is that I was going through. Instead of my pain defining me, instead of my pain being a part of my life, my pain is now growing me. My pain is now making me into a better version of myself. How is your pain in your life? Is it defining you or is it growing you? You see, it says right here in James, the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, it says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of many kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing." See, what James is telling us is that we should consider it great joy when we go through pain, when we go through struggles, when we go through sorrows. Now, this is totally counterculture to what we know. This is against what we naturally feel, right? When we go through pain, we don't feel joy, we feel hurt, we feel sadness, we feel even confusion about why we're going through it. But James is saying, consider it joy. We gotta have joy as we go through our pain. You see, joy shifts our perspective. It shifts our perspective. It begins to put us into a lens that our pain is actually an opportunity for us to grow. What's gonna grow? Our endurance, our faith, our maturity, our life, our experiences within it, our wisdom. Those are the things that are going to grow. And so when we have joy as we're going through a struggle, our perspective shifts and our pain now seems to be an opportunity for us to grow, for us to get better. Not to get bitter, but to get better. Is your pain defining you, or is your pain growing you? Here's the thing, is that we grow when we're uncomfortable. If you've ever been to the gym before, if you've ever worked out before, you know all too well that next morning when you wake up, you are going to feel sore. You are going to feel some type of way. Why? Because your body is growing. Your muscles are literally tearing and growing as a result. So you're gonna get uncomfortable. But guess what? We grow when we're uncomfortable. The reality is that God is not calling us into our comfort zone. He's calling us out of our comfort zone. He's not calling us to comfort. He's calling us out of comfort, because he knows that if we're in our comfort zone, we're not going to grow. We grow in the uncomfortable. We grow in pain. We grow in struggles. And pain and struggling is a part of life. So how are we going to use it? Is it going to be a tool for us, or is it going to be a tool against us? Is it defining us, or is it growing us? Because if it defines you, you're going to get bitter. But if it grows you, you're going to get better. So pain is a tool. The second thing that we can realize, and how we can finish strong, is that we have to realize that life is a marathon. Life is a marathon. You see, I don't know about you, but I've heard this phrase so many times, that life is too short. Life is short. Life goes by so fast. And I can agree. I mean, my 25 years of life, it has gone by so fast. And here's the thing, is that yes, life is short. But if I can put this into like a track analogy, life is short, but it has a lot of laps. Life is short, but it has a lot of laps. It seems to be that every single day is a lap. Every single year is a lap. Every single month, every single 5 years, every single decade, whatever it may be. Life is short, but it has a lot of laps. Every day is another lap. Every month, every year is another lap, another opportunity, another moment, another lesson for us to learn. We have to realize that life is a marathon. You see, for me, when I was a sprinter, I didn't know anything about marathons. I didn't know anything about laps. I was just, I just ran straight to the finish line, and that was it. The most I ever had to run was a 200, which is just a curve and a straightaway. That was it. So I don't know anything about running marathons. And so if I ran a marathon with the mindset that I'm just gonna sprint it, that I'm just gonna run as fast as I possibly can, I'm gonna die out. I'll probably literally die. If anything, I will die of exhaustion, of dehydration, of whatever it may be, like all of the above. I will just die if I try to run, if I try to sprint my hardest through a marathon. You can't do it. You gotta take your time. You gotta pace yourself. Here's some questions for us. Am I running my race the best way possible? Meaning, am I living my life the best way possible? Am I living my life to the best of my abilities? Am I setting myself up for success? Am I setting myself up for better opportunities? Am I just gonna, bolt out of the gates and bolt out of the blocks and then die out towards the end? Am I gonna have a great start but yet a terrible finish? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves, because I know all too well about running too fast and then dying out towards the end. So there was one time in high school where I ran the 400 meters for the very first time. The 400 meters is just a lap. It sounds way too easy, but it's actually way more difficult. And I never ran it before. I was a freshman. I was running varsity. I was scared. I was nervous. And so I asked my coaches and I asked some teammates who had experience, and I said, hey, how do you run the 400 meters? What should I do? What are your tips? They said, all right, what you're gonna do is that when you get out of the blocks, you're gonna run like 80%. When you hit the first straightaway, you're gonna bump it up to around like 85. When you hit the last curve, you're gonna go about 90. And then right when you hit the last straightaway, you're gonna go as fast as you can. So I said, okay, cool. 80, 85, 90, as fast as I can. Got it. As soon as the gun went off, I booked it. I went as fast as I possibly could out of the blocks, and sure enough, as soon as I hit the last curve going onto the straightaway, I was dead. My legs were starting to cramp up. I felt like I was going to die. My teammates started to pass me. I ended up getting third place. You see, my start was great. I was ahead of everybody. I was tearing it up. People would have thought, man, this kid's gonna win the race. But I ended up losing because I died out at the end. I didn't listen to my coaches. I didn't listen to my teammates. You see, I didn't do what I was trained to do. I didn't listen to my coaches. You see, a coach is meant to help us. A coach is meant to push us. A coach is meant to tell us exactly how to run our race, exactly how the play is going to be played out, exactly how for us to get better at whatever sport that we're playing. You see, coaches and teammates and people who have had experience is so important for us to listen. That's how we get better. Here's the thing, and here's the question for us, is God my coach? Is God the coach of my life? Am I listening to him? Am I following after him? Am I learning from God? Am I being trained by God? You see, because here's the thing, is that God is going to have a different perspective on your life than you are. Because God can see your life from beginning to end. He knows exactly where you are, what you're doing, how you're doing, everything about you. So God is obviously gonna have a way different perspective than you are. Not only that, but God also has the best intentions for you. He has the best intentions for your life. He knows exactly where you're going and where he wants you to go. But the question is God your coach? Are you listening to God? Are you following God? Is God your trainer? Is he your coach? Is he the one directing you and directing your life? Because if he's not, you're gonna go in a totally different direction than where you actually want to go. Is God your coach? Is he leading you? Am I listening to him? Am I praying to him? Am I going to my word to learn more about God and to have this relationship with God strengthened? You see, we see again within 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16, it says, all scripture is inspired by God and is useful to teach us what is true and to make us realize what is wrong in our lives. It corrects us when we are wrong and teaches us what is right. God uses it to prepare and equip his people to do every good work. Is God preparing you? Is he equipping you? I guess the better question is, are you allowing him to? Are you listening to him? Are you following after God? You see, it says right here, I love what it says. It says that it corrects us when we are wrong and teaches us to do what is right. That's exactly what a coach does. A coach corrects what is wrong. A coach corrects bad habits. They correct whatever it is that we've been making mistakes on. They correct those things and they teach us what to do. They teach us what is right. And that's what God does for us in our lives. God has a better perspective of life than we do. Are we praying to him? Are we listening to him? Are we following after God? Because we have to realize this, that life is a marathon. It goes by fast, but it's also really long as well. It's a marathon. And how we start is not as important as how we finish. Are we finishing strong? The way that we finish strong is that we allow God to be our coach. Because he cares about the race that you're running. He cares about what you're going through. He cares about your struggle. He cares about your fight. He cares about where you are within your life. And God is cheering you on. He is cheering you on to keep on going, to keep on pressing in. And all we have to do is listen to God to see where he's taking us, to get his perspective, to listen to his word, to listen to his truth, and ultimately follow his direction. God wants the best for you. He loves you so much. He knows the purpose and he knows the plan for your life. And all we have to do is allow God to lead us towards that. Life is a marathon, and we have to allow God to be our coach. The last thing that we can do in order for us to finish strong is that we remain faithful by living holy. We remain faithful by living holy. That's what Paul tells us. He says that I ran the race and I remained faithful. I remained tied to my word. I remained following after Jesus. Kind of like what I started off with this whole message was that, when I used to run track, my starts were great. My starts were phenomenal. I know, weird flex, but okay. And I loved the start of the race, but I didn't always love the finishing. I didn't always love finishing the race because I didn't always have the best finishes. Here's the thing, is that nobody remembers who had the best start. Nobody remembers who had the perfect reactions right out the gate. Everybody remembers who finished first. And most of the time, the person who finished first, the person who won the race, the person who got the medal at the very end, is most likely the person who finished the best, who finished the strongest. Nobody remembers who was the first out. Everybody always remembers who was the first to finish. You see, in order for us to finish strong, in order for us to live a life that ends strong, that finishes strong, in order for us to get through this school year strong, in order for us to keep this momentum, we have to remain faithful by living holy. by living holy. Holy is just a spiritual word to mean set apart. And we see this a lot throughout the Bible of Jesus, of Paul, of different characters within the Bible, different authors of the Bible, insisting that God's people stay holy. Stay holy, stay set apart from the rest of the world. You see, what this means for us and how we can stay holy is that we have to continue to press on to follow Jesus by how we speak, by the actions that we have, by just making a commitment inside of our heart that every single day I'm going to follow after Jesus. I want to be a mirror image of Jesus. That's how we stay holy. I want to stay in my word. I want to learn more about him. I want to listen to God. I want to pray to God. I want to go to God. I want to be more consistent in my prayer life, in my devotional life, and learning more about Jesus and about who he is. That's how we stay holy, and that's ultimately how we remain faithful as well. We have to be set apart. You see, because God didn't make you like everybody else. God's plan for your life is not like everybody else's. The journey, the purpose, the plan that God has for you, for your life, for your future, is not like everybody else's. In order for us to finish strong, we have to remain faithful by staying holy. Holy does not mean that we're better than everybody else. Being set apart from the world does not mean that we're better than the rest of the world. That's not what it means. It's actually sort of the opposite. You see, what happens is that when we live a holy life, we begin to get humble. We begin to realize that our life is not really about us. Our life is really not about what we can do, about what we can say, about our own abilities. Our life is about the God, about Jesus who lives inside of us. Our life is about spreading this gospel to the rest of the world, to everybody else. You see, because we were called on mission. We have a mission on our lives to spread the gospel, to tell people about the good news, to remain faithful, and to finish strong. To press in, to fight the good fight, to go all 12 rounds, to finish strong. That's what we were called to do. And that's what living holy means. It's looking like Jesus. It's talking like Jesus. It's imitating Jesus. It's staying close to our word. It's listening to God and to what he has to say for us and about us. That's what living holy means. And so in order for us to finish this race strong, in order for us to, finish this life strong, in order for us to finish this school year strong, we have to see pain as a tool, we have to remain faithful, and ultimately, we have to realize that life, or the season that we're in, is a marathon. It's gonna feel like forever. It's gonna feel like we're just keep on going in the same loop or the same lap. I know 2020 feels almost like we're going through a jungle. We don't know what's gonna pop out at us next. But I can tell you this, that even through what we're going through, even through our pain, even through our trials, even through our struggles, God is with us, he is for us, he has not forsaken us. You got this. The Jesus, the God, the Holy Spirit that is living inside of you is going to empower you, is going to move you forward. There is hope beyond the trial. There is hope and peace and love and joy while you're in the midst of the trial, while you're in the midst of the value, whatever it is that you're going through. Remember, it's not about how you start, but it's about how you finish. Finish strong. Finish with Jesus. Run through to him. Take every single day, every single step towards Jesus. Hey, you got this. This school year is yours. I declare that over you right now. Just speaking a word of faith, a word of prophecy over you, that even though this school year seems different, it seems weird, you might even be checked out right now, you don't even want to go to it or whatever, I pray that this school year would be the best school year yet, and that this school year would give you more opportunities to spread the gospel and to spread the good news about Jesus and about who he is. Finish strong. Don't have your start be better than your finish. Have your finish be better than your start. Keep the momentum, take every single day forward, and keep on pressing in to Jesus. Use pain, use it as a tool. Don't have it define you. Grow from it. Realize that life is a marathon. Have God be your coach, and remain faithful by living holy. Be consistent. Take every single day and give it to Jesus. I want to pray for you guys right now, just for you guys this day and for your guys' school year. God, we come before you right now, knowing, God, that there's challenges, knowing, God, that there's painful moments, knowing, God, that there's difficulty afoot. knowing, God, that we're all going through something different. We're all going through a different struggle. But ultimately, God, you are in control. You know what's best for us. You know where you're taking us. You know what you're doing, God. In the midst of this season, Lord, you are still in control and you still have a plan. Jesus, I pray that you would encourage all of us on a daily basis to finish strong. Lord, that even right now, that we would make a commitment inside of our hearts, inside of our minds, inside of our lives, God, to finish strong, to be consistent with you, Jesus. That our relationship with you would not grow weary, but that it would grow stronger, grow better, grow more inside of our lives, Jesus. That you would do ultimately whatever it is that you want to do, Jesus. Lord, we love you, and we thank you for who you are. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Hey, I love you guys so much. Again, so good to see you guys tuning into these things. I miss you guys so much. Just know that there's some cool stuff happening within the future. So just be ready for the details, be ready for whatever is happening. And I miss you guys so much. Cannot wait to see you guys again. Peace out, Avenue. Have a great night, have a great day, have a great evening, a great morning, wherever time that you're watching this. Hey, even share this video to a friend, to a family member, to somebody who you know needs to hear this encouraging word. Whatever it may be, share this video, get it out to the people. Have a great school year, have a great day wherever you're at in life. Love you guys so much. See you guys soon.